and the smaller resources players are putting in place plans to factor in the new tax. For more on the resources sector, we're joined by Bob Duffin, Executive Chairman at WPG Resources. He comes to us now from our Sydney CBD studio. Mr. Duffin, look, thanks very much for your time this early Thursday morning. Just to start with, concerns, obviously a big national debate at the moment about the carbon tax. What are your thoughts on it? Are you concerned about potential impacts?
Yes, there is, James, and good morning. Our company is a iron ore mining company based in South Australia. We've got Australia's highest grade undeveloped iron ore project. We'll be putting that into production later this year. Our carbon footprint is limited to the diesel emissions generated by our trains which haul the ore from the mine site to the port. The carbon footprint of our company is not particularly high, so while it is a business input, we are not particularly concerned about the carbon tax.
More broadly though, I suppose for a lot of companies and I suppose carbon intensive industries that are concerned about it, obviously the mining sector comes under that spotlight. The idea that the government not wanting to offer any assistance to those trade exposed industry, is that something you think needs to be seriously, I suppose, fought?
I think it is an issue for the coal mining industry, not so much from the perspective of the emissions created by the power stations, which is another issue entirely from the coal sector, but rather the coal mining industry does generate some methane in particular as a result of the emissions of entrapped gases within the coal seams. But overall, from a mining company perspective where there is not a lot of downstream processing, the carbon pollution reduction scheme or the carbon tax is not likely to be a big issue for us.
Bob, good morning. It's Martin Lakos here. I was actually interested to just ask on a different angle in regards to iron ore. You're starting production later this year, you say. I mean, I'd be really interested to hear what your take on the current state of the market in iron ore is. We've seen the spot price come off a fair amount. Is there still good demand for long-term contracts coming out of the emerging markets?
Absolutely. The spot price has come off a little in the last few days, but it's come off from an all-time high. What's happening, of course, is that there is a lot of new production slated to come into production from the Pilbara, from expansions 4 or 5 years out. Had we gone back in time 4 or 5 years ago, people would have been saying the same sort of thing, and the Armageddon price scenario would be now upon us. That's not happened, and we don't think it will happen in the next 4 or 5 years. Sure, at some stage in the future this new production will come on stream, but much of it is capacity constraint.